I would say I was born in politics, but quite a different type of politics than one sees now, because politics was not a career. It was being part of a movement for freedom. And it absorbed all one's being. I mean, I don't remember anything else. Everything I was interested in, even literature, poetry, had to do with either our own freedom struggle or those of other countries.
Mm-hmm. At what age can you remember when the family started getting involved in the movement?
Well, when I was born. I mean, there was no time that it wasn't. But when Mr. Gandhi came back from South Africa, that changed the whole complexion of the movement, because he made it, he transformed it from a rather elitist upper class or middle class city movement into a mass movement, in which the whole of India, especially the peasantry, which was 99% of the people, participated. And he felt strongly also about what he called woman power. And he realized that a movement which was non-violent needed the support of the whole family. And so he appealed especially to women. So this is how the whole country was involved. And those families that did get involved were totally absorbed.
When you were very young, your parents were in prison quite a lot, weren't they?
Off and on, yes.
Did that mean a very lonely childhood?
Well, we were very active. Something was happening in the house all the time. I mean, either we were being raided, or somebody else was being arrested, or friends were being arrested. And you spend a lot of time visiting prisons, not just parents, but those whose families couldn't go. And this is when I was a little older, of course. And well, I was very small when I got involved myself by forming a children's section of the party. I think everybody's lonely at times, and especially when you're a teenager. I do remember days, but I don't think that has anything to do with whether parents are there or not. I think that's a process of growing up.
You spent some time in prison during that struggle yourself.
Yes.
What was that like?
Well, it's rather strange to describe it, because it felt one thing while you were there, but when you came out and looked back on it, it seemed something quite different.
Does it seem rosier when you look back?
Oh no. When we were there, it was a thing of prestige. We were glad that we were in prison. We thought we were contributing to the struggle, and we were important enough to be in prison. And well, I kept myself very occupied. I was looking after somebody else's little baby, and also teaching some of the women and so on. But when you came out, you found that you had really sealed your mind, and you didn't feel the heat or the discomfort or hunger and everything, because you just made up your mind that you weren't going to feel it. But when you came out, it was a little bit like, well, what I imagine, a wild animal suddenly put in more civilized circumstances. And it took some time before you adjusted to human company other than those who had also been to prison.